Prologue. The night was thick with mist, a swirling veil that clung to the empty streets of Blackthorn. Street lamps flickered uncertainly, their glow struggling against the darkness that seemed to press in from all sides. In the heart of the town, nestled between towering, crumbling buildings, stood an ancient bookstore, Holloway's Rare Tomes. Inside, Evelyn Holloway traced her fingers over the spines of books older than time itself, their titles faded by centuries of existence. Tonight was different. The air carried a whisper, a presence unseen yet unmistakably felt. She turned sharply, her breath catching in her throat. The store was empty, except for the shadow that did not belong. Chapter 1, The Book of Echoes. The morning light barely seeped through the heavy curtains as Evelyn unlocked the bookstore's front door. Blackthorn was a town forgotten by time, where history lingered in every brick and cobblestone. The people who remained knew better than to ask about the whispers in the alleys or the strange occurrences that sent chills down the spine. Evelyn had inherited the shop from her grandfather, a man who had spent his life collecting rare books, many of which were said to contain knowledge best left undiscovered. She never believed the legends, until the day she found the Book of Echoes. Bound in leather dark as midnight, the book had no title, no author. Its pages shimmered with words that seemed to move when not directly looked at. The moment Evelyn touched it, a deep resonance hummed through the air, as if the universe itself had turned its gaze upon her. A single line appeared on the first page: "To read is to remember." And with that, the past began to unravel. Chapter 2, A Visitor. In the night, the bell above the shop door chimed. Evelyn, startled from her thoughts, turned to see a tall figure cloaked in shadow. His presence was unsettling, yet his gaze was calm, knowing. "You have it," he said, his voice like distant thunder. Evelyn swallowed. "Have what?" The stranger took a slow step forward. "The book. It is not meant for mortal hands." She tightened her grip on it. "And yet, it found me." The stranger exhaled, as if weary of the conversation before it had even begun. "Then you must understand. That book does not merely hold knowledge, it holds souls." Evelyn's heartbeat quickened. "Souls?" The stranger nodded. "Every name written within it still walks among us. Some seek redemption. Others seek escape." A chill ran down her spine. She had always considered books to be alive in their own way, but never like this. Chapter 3, The First Name. Evelyn's hands trembled as she opened the Book of Echoes again. Beneath the cryptic introduction, a name faded into existence: Jonathan Harrow. The moment she read it aloud, the walls of the bookstore trembled, and the air grew thick with something unseen. A breath, soft but unmistakable, whispered through the room. Evelyn spun around, but she and the stranger were alone. Until they weren't. A figure materialized in the dim light, his face obscured by flickering shadows. He spoke in a voice laced with sorrow. "You have called me." Evelyn could barely find her voice. "Who are you?" His eyes, hollow yet piercing, met hers. "I am Jonathan Harrow. And I need your help." Chapter 4, Secrets. Beneath the floorboards. Harrow's tale was one of tragedy and betrayal. A scholar of ancient texts, he had stumbled upon knowledge that was never meant to be unearthed. A secret society, known only as the Veil, had sought to silence him. When he refused to surrender what he had learned, he was erased, not merely killed, but removed from history itself. Only the book remembered. Evelyn's mind spun. "If you were erased, how are you still here?" Harrow looked down at his translucent hands. "Because you spoke my name." The stranger, still watching from the shadows, spoke gravely. "This is why the book must not fall into the wrong hands. To speak a name from its pages is to rewrite fate itself." Evelyn set the book down as if it burned her fingertips. "What happens now?" Harrow's expression darkened. "Now, we find the others." Chapter 5, The Gathering Storm. As night fell over Blackthorn, Evelyn, Harrow, and the stranger stood before the bookstore's hidden basement door. It had been locked for decades, its key lost to time. But Evelyn no longer believed in coincidences. If the book had chosen her, there was a reason. With trembling hands, she turned the rusted handle. The door creaked open, revealing stairs that led into darkness. And from below, something stirred. The past was waking up.